ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਇਰਾ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਈਕੋਥੈਰੇਪਿਸਟ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਊ ਟੂ ਲਿਵ ਅ ਪੀਸਫੁਲ ਲਾਈਫ। ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਹਾਂ। ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਲਿਆਈਏ ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਪੀਸਫੁਲ ਲਾਈਫ ਜੀ ਸਕਨੇ ਹਾਂ। ਔਰ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਇਰਾ। ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Today's world, what not we have, but despite that we are not happy, we are not living a peaceful life. Everybody is running around, everybody is under stress, and everybody is under tension, and then because of the tension and depression, it's further mental issues, your health issues are coming forward. So with your experience in this field, tell us how to live a peaceful life.
I would say, if you think of these three things, so one is to connect with yourself,
Okay.
the other is to connect with the people,
Right.
and the third is to connect with nature. Okay, so let's start with the first one, connecting with yourself. So what do
Yeah.
we mean by that? There's a part of us that's rushed, overwhelmed, frantic all the time. I know I have that in myself. Is that the part I want to connect with? Probably not.
Right.
So it's connecting to myself, doing something that I like to do that brings me peace. For me, it's reading a book.
Right.
Listening to music, spending time just with myself alone. Another way to say connect with yourself is to say connect with God or the divine presence. So some people pray or meditate or sit in stillness or silence, go to your place of worship, connecting with the self. If we don't connect with our higher self, we forget that we are actually more than just this physical body.
Right.
We think, oh, this physical life is everything. I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have to clean. And it goes on and on and on, because I forget who I really am.
Right.
Who am I really is this soul that's timeless and eternal. And so when I connect with myself and I remember that I'm a soul, I can start bringing peace back into my life.
Right. And again, basically, what is the purpose over here? That's what we need to find out, because ultimately, in this rat race, everybody gets engulfed, and then towards the end, it's too late. We don't understand, now what to do.
Right.
So the sooner you start, and especially if you can impart this kind of thinking amongst the children, that will be very beneficial, because they will then start working on those steps. Because otherwise today, even when we talk to a younger child, he says, I'm stressed out, there's so much work to do. And then the parents have further put stress in the sense that from the school, he or she has to be taken to many things, sports, activities, or music, or whatnot.
Right.
So here again, the parents have to come to that realization that enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have to work. There's no second thought about it. But how we start living our life, that is more important.
Right. And why do we have to start work at 3 and 4 and 5 years old? We can have a childhood, we can have that free time. When children are allowed to get bored,
Right.
it's really good for their brain development, because boredom comes right before a breakthrough, right? In the child's brain. So if they're just sitting there, they have nothing to do, it's good, because they'll figure out, they'll find a stick and a stone and start playing some game. That's what we all did when we were children, right? And so we have to allow our children time to just be bored, to just connect with themselves, and something good comes out of that every time.
But now we parents feel, no, the child is sitting, not doing anything. Give something to do.
Yeah, and then what do? We put a screen in front of them.
Right.
And what that does to the brain is it actually stops creativity, right? It's because it's a passive receiving of information. They're not actually thinking any thoughts. They're just sitting there in front of the screen hypnotized. So rather than having them sit in front of the screen hypnotized, let them play outside. So that's the third one, connect with nature.
Right.
When we're outside, when we're in the fresh air, we have the trees around us, the grass beneath our feet, it's almost like we remember why we're here and who we are, right? At the end of the day, we're animals. We're mammals. We've come, we are just, we're a little more sophisticated, perhaps.
Right.
We have language, we can make tools, but we are part of this creation. And if we forget that, because in our cities, we're in our home, we're disconnected. This morning we had a spider in our kitchen. Spider, and I was ready to kill it. And my son said, no, this is God's creation. I said, oh God, what have they taught him, right? So we had to protect the spider and take him outside, right? But the child is remembering that, wait, this being has as much right to life as I do.
Right.
That's a really important message, and we learn that message when we're outside, right? So even as adults, have you ever gone outside for a walk and you just feel peaceful?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we make time to do that, even if it means rather than driving the 5 minutes, maybe I'll take the 15-minute walk outside to get where I'm going, that will help us with that sense of peace inside.
As I mentioned before, purpose of life. That's very difficult for people to understand what is the purpose of life,
Yeah.
because life continues, life takes on its toll, and we forget, or we don't get the time, or we don't take out the time to, go inside, as you said, to find out that purpose.
Right.
So when we talk about the purpose, every person has some talent. Every person is unique.
Yeah.
We but do not realize that many times, that we mostly compare ourselves to others. So this comparison aspect, how much detriment it is to our own self. What do you say?
Well, I would say that's the number one barrier to peace.
Okay.
Is when I'm thinking about how am I doing compared to others, and the second thing is what are other people thinking about me?
Right.
And what I've learned over the years working with hundreds of people is that nobody's actually thinking about you, because people are really thinking about themselves and worrying about themselves so much.
Right.
Your mother might be thinking about you, but nobody else is really thinking.
Yeah.
That's the 1%. And so if we can start to realize that, who are we comparing ourselves to? Am I comparing myself to some astronaut? Well, I'm never going to be an astronaut. Why am I bothering to do that comparison? Rather than comparing, what if I could celebrate and say, wow, isn't it amazing that a human being with the same skills and talents as me was able to reach this height? What height am I able to reach in my world? And maybe for me, the height might be that I'm the best mother I could ever be.
Right.
And that's enough. It doesn't have to be some, there's this great blog I was reading, it's called the Average Life, right? And we're so, especially in South Asian culture, we push and we push, we want to be number one.
Right.
But not everybody can be number one. So what about number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? How do we make those people feel? And if we are those people, what are we telling ourselves about our own failure?
Right.
So one of the quick ways to peace as you connect with yourself is to know, I'm enough. I'm enough as I am, and I have a right to be here just like anybody else.
Right. And as you said, connecting to the people, that was a second point. Now, when we say about connecting to the people, in today's world, more connections are made as networking just for the sake of increasing your business or your profile, or you say don't worry about the people, but we are more concerned about how to impress others rather than how to impress ourselves.
Right.
So this aspect, could you please elaborate on this? That how in this world, present phase, how can we kind of find ourselves, and what should be our aim while connecting with people?
It's a really deep question, because yes, we're connected to more people than ever before,
Right.
but those connections are not meaningful. And so what I would say is, look at the connections in your life that you're not leveraging, you're not using this person for some back and forth. When you're sitting around with a group of friends, everybody's talking and laughing and it's wonderful, and you leave and everybody feels good, is very different than going to a business event and you're trying to hand out your business card and you're trying to make an impression. It's a very different feeling. So when I talk about connecting with others, I'm talking about that first thing where and it just has to be 2, 3, 4 people. It doesn't have to be 55 people, just a few people that are close to your heart, that you feel, I can relax here. I can, my mom says I can wear my house coat here.
Right.
I don't have to be, I'm just myself.
Right.
So those are the people to connect with.
Absolutely. And to find those, of course, you have to dig deep. You have to continue with finding people. And
and I think most of us have those people.
oh yes.
But we just don't prioritize those people,
That's
because we're
right.
so busy prioritizing work
Others.
and others that when those people come, like right now my parents are in town
Right.
and my parents are in my house and I'm so busy doing other things, I've forgotten that those are my people.
Because
and
we take things for granted.
take it for
which are
granted.
easily available to us.
And finally they told me, hey, it woke me up that, wait a
Right.
minute, these are my people. All those people out in the world,
Right.
it's a give and take relationship. But with my
Absolutely.
parents, it's just a love relationship.
Absolutely.
There's no giving and taking, it's just love.
Triggers can play a very important role. Like you said, somebody tells you something, that can be a trigger. But alongside, when you are in your daily life, moving on with life, you might be having those good thoughts, but when life falls on you, you probably forget those.
Right.
But if there are triggers, they can also, let you know that you are on that wrong path. Change the direction and focus on what really your purpose is.
Right.
It is a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਸਾਇਰਾ ਨੇ ਇਹੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਮਾਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇਕਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਿਤਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ 3 ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੰਗੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਬਣਾਏ ਜਾਣ। ਇਸ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੋਇਆ? ਇਸ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਸਮਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੱਢਿਆ ਜਾਏ। ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਮਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਦੇ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਾਂ ਬਿਤਾਉਣਾ। ਦੂਸਰਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਬਣਾਓ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਐਡਵਾਂਟੇਜ ਲੈਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਲੈਕਸ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ, ਫੀਲ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ। ਤੇ ਥਰਡਲੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨੇਚਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਟਰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਜਾਏ। ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਵੀ ਕੱਢ ਸਕਨੇ ਆ। ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਰੇਨਕੂਵਰ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਬਾਰਿਸ਼ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਮਾਂ ਬਹੁਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਣ ਦਾ, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਜੇਕਰ ਤਮੰਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਤਾਂ ਛਤਰੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾਇਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਨਜ਼ਾਰੇ ਲਏ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਜਿੰਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੇਚਰ ਨਾਲ, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਸਹੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਬਣਾਵਾਂਗੇ, ਉਨਾ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਸਫੁਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ।